So here we are doing the old pre-lift live. It's going to be a heavy one today. Pronation, some riser, elbow flexion. And I got to double check the book, but I think this might be my last heavy, if I'm not, let's see. Today's the 17th. Maybe one more week. I got to double check the schedule, see what the notebook says for training, but this could be my last heavy pronation day for weights. But it's going to be good. We're going to wait a little bit, let some more people hop on before we start, diving into all the good stuff. Josh might hop on, aka that camera guy 98. So it should be good. Should be good. Just got back. Um, late last night from the old Carolinas. Nice trip. But now we're back in the labyrinth. Well, actually, we're outside the labyrinth. We're sitting in the car. The labyrinth. I can see the labyrinth from here. But it's gonna be good. So, you guys got any questions? Let me know. This video, the this heavy lift, is going to be a members only video. So keep that in mind. If you guys want to see the video, you're gonna have to become a member to Stone TV. It should be, not too challenging to sign up. Actually, there's one of our members right there, True Carnage, aka new guy Nick, also known as to some people. Some people probably call him Big Nick, but we're gonna call him New Nick for a little bit. He said, "What's up, bro? Got back from man camp yesterday afternoon myself." Man camp? What's a man camp? I wonder what that is. Could be something really fun. Could be something. It could be anything. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, but it's interesting. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, that's very nice. That's nice, Nick. Every year, he says he goes. That's good. Like camping out, so you guys camp outside? Or is it more of a, like tents and stuff? Or you guys have campers? Or you guys go super old school and, built your own shelter? So let's see. Let's see. I don't know how to say this name. So we'll call this guy L. L says, hello. What's up, L? Appreciate you hopping on and chilling with us. So Nick says our football team 1-2 beat the defending champs. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. What kind of football you play? Was it real? Excuse me. Was it real football or was it like was it tackle football or was it flag football? So I'm trying to figure out what type of football they play at the church. And he said, let's see. L said hi again. He really wants to say hi. I appreciate that. Nick says an old ass wood bunk cabin. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's got the nice, the old school feel. Nick says, so I'm sore but ready for practice. Tomorrow is practice, so if anyone in the chat or anybody watching this video after wants to join practice, tomorrow's the day, Tuesday, 5 p.m. I'm gonna start. I gotta double check the schedule, but I'm more likely gonna open up the gym early, around 4. Um, so if anyone wants to arm wrestle, keep that in mind because I am going extremely hard tomorrow. Let's see. Josh, Josh just shot me a message, but I can't see it with the way the phone's set up. So he either said he's going to hop on soon or he cannot hop on. So it's 50-50 right now. But if anyone else in the chat, well, actually, let's wait a little bit because Josh might have said he's going to hop on. So let's wait a little bit. So L says, I will sub and like. Oh, thank you very much, L. I appreciate that. That's greatly appreciated. That helps out a lot, and if anyone else out there wants to be as cool as L, definitely do the same. Hit the sub button, hit the like button, and if you're feeling crazy, I mean absolutely crazy, maybe hit the like button, unlike it, and then like it again. Let's see. Nick says 5-on-5 flag football. Oh, very nice. So I never when I was a kid, like backyard football, I liked like 5-on-5. I feel like was fun to play. Instead of the 11-on-11, 5 on or something like that, or even 3-on-3 was fun. It's football's fun no matter what. Brian, what's up, man? Brian, are you off today? You off on Mondays? Some reason that popped in my head because I think we were talking about it last week. But if you want to do some heavy pronation, I'm gonna be doing heavy lift after this. You and Sailor, welcome to join. Drew, what's up, man? So Nick says, I did knock a few brothers on their asses, but mostly because they ran into me. Hello. I could definitely see that. I could see, someone trying to blindside you from from the back of the head or the back of the shoulder, and then, them bouncing off, and then maybe you just thought it was some wind. But that is interesting. That's funny. That's funny. Let's see. All right. All right, Drew. Thanks for hopping in and joining the chat. But you got to get some sleep. It's probably you've probably been up for like 47 hours. So looks like we got a wrestling fan. Let's call this guy 22. 22 says WCW was way better than the WWF. Hey man, I don't know if I never watched those. I never got to watch WWF because when I watched it as a kid, it was WWE. But my favorite wrestling was I don't know if you know it, you probably do, was the ECW. That was my favorite wrestling to watch when I was a kid. So let's see. L says, "Bye, my gotta sleep." So thanks for hopping on. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I appreciate that. And we'll see you next time. Let's see. Short says, "Hello, America. I am Indian." Ah, very nice. Hello, India. I am American. We have a lot of your your Indian brothers in the chat. We have a pretty big Indian following. So I'm sure you if you don't know what arm wrestling, but I think you do. I think you know arm wrestling because there's a big arm wrestling community in India. And then Nick says, "You sure get some interesting visitors." Definitely true. Definitely true. If we had the hammers in the chat, they'd be dropping them real hard. They'd be putting them in timeout, maybe even blocking them. But yeah, there's always the weirdos in the chat. But that's the way it goes. So let's see. I'm not sure how to say this name, but I think Annie. I'm gonna say Annie says, "Hi, I'm Samoa." All right, that's awesome. You might be. I think we had someone from Tonga, but I think you're the first one from Samoa. So thanks for watching. And I bet if you're Samoan, you're probably good at arm wrestling because the ones that I know are pretty good at arm wrestling. So let's see. Nick says Drew needs his beauty sleep. He definitely does. He definitely does. If Drew doesn't get his 20 hours of beauty sleep, I don't even want to know what happens. Let's not even talk about it. So Andy says thanks. Oh, anytime. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, so if you guys got any arm wrestling questions, let me know. Arm wrestling questions, maybe even powerlifting questions. Um, I used to be a powerlifter. You may not believe me, but I used to be one. That's still very weird to say. Um, because I always thought I would never stop powerlifting. Maybe I'll go back, but I enjoy arm wrestling more as a sport. Um, Powerlifting was fun, but I feel like you could have more fun. You could push things to higher level with, let's see, maybe I say less risk, less risk. So Short says, "What is your name?" So my name is Nick, and I like to arm wrestle because this is an arm wrestling channel. We talk about arm wrestling. We talk about powerlifting, anything strength related. If you guys I got a question for you guys and people in the chat. Um, I like to ask this. It's a good question to ask. Who is your favorite arm wrestler and why? Short says, "Yes, arm wrestling is very fun and forces you to break your limits." Definitely true. Definitely true. Um, it's just, it's a definitely, definitely pushes limits. Most people, once they try arm wrestling, they don't make it past the first practice. Um, which I do understand. It's very, very, those first couple weeks are very uncomfortable. Um, it also depends on your experience with your first practice too, you know. Let's see. Nick says arm wrestling is definitely a tougher sport than people think, more than just strength for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I was powerlifting, 2019, I was at the Arnold Classic. Um, Chris, you know him, Chris Wacko, Nick knows him. That's how Nick got into the sport. That's actually how I got into the sport too. Wacko invited me to a practice too. Um, but when I was powerlifting, Chris asked me if I wanted to go watch arm wrestling, and I think these were my exact words. I'm like, why would I want to go watch arm wrestling? That seems you know, I thought it was dumb when I was a powerlifter, but now that I'm an arm wrestler, it's opposite. I think that's I thought that was funny, but there's lots of things. Speed. It is definitely a strength sport. Like if someone is just too much, if you're arm wrestling a gorilla, you know, it's definitely a strength sport. But you're definitely right, Nick. There's so much more. There's speed, technique, um, even different styles. Make a big difference. So let's see. Short says, I completed my first 200 push-ups because of that. Oh, very nice. Very nice. That's a lot of push-ups. Good for you. Don says, where you from? I'm from the United States. How about yourself, Don? So James says, do you think Devin will ever beat Levon? If you go back, I think I made prediction videos for two or three, at least two videos, and I had Devin winning 4-3 in all of my prediction videos. Now, um, if you're thinking logically, I mean, it's hard to say who can beat Levon, but sometimes, most of the time, I think, more of like unlogically, especially in arm wrestling, because there's lots of things that can go on. But I do think Devin can definitely beat Levon. Um, Levon is a very good arm wrestler. He rarely makes mistakes, and I think it will have to be, something like where Levon makes a mistake, Devin capitalizes, and then that's where he really gets in. So Nick says Wacko is arm wrestling's Kevin Bacon. LOL. I don't get that one, man. I know who Kevin Bacon is. I used to watch Tremors all the time. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid. If you don't know Tremors, there's like 12 movies, so you could watch, the whole entire Tremor, 12 movies. But yeah, you're gonna have to explain that joke to me at practice, Nick. That's funny. So Short says, give me some tips for that because I'm preparing for my next match. Well, I would say figure out what the rules are, learn the rules, do some ready goes, um, train your pronation, train your wrist flexion, train your elbow flexor, your lock, and let's see, um, protect yourself. Remember to protect yourself. But hopefully, yeah, that's what I would say. Brian says Bert. Bert was my favorite character. You know, he had all the had all those guns, and he had that. I don't know if that big elephant gun. You know, um, yeah, Bert's definitely the best character in the Tremors. And Bert was married to Reba in the movie. That's that country singer. Um, so that's funny. That's funny. So Nick says, I just meant everybody has a tie to Wacko Lacko. Definitely true. Everyone knows Wacko. If you don't know Wacko, you know Lacko. Wacko is a. I can't remember. 'Cause I've known Chris for quite a while. I've known him for. We started lifting together when I was like 18. Um, and then I didn't see him for a little bit. And then 2020, he came down with Donnie and Corey to the Arnold to help me out. Um, then after that, you know, uh, another year or something. Then we started arm wrestling. But I don't think he got that Wacko name, that Wacko Lacko nickname for quite a while. Maybe I'm wrong. Laurel says, "Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Laurel. Thanks for watching. Back. It's actually not too cold today. I only have one hoodie on, so it's not too cold today. But it's a little windy. I got the probably gonna lift with the garage doors shut. Definitely be a lot warmer with the doors shut. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm not sure, Josh. I don't think I can see the text from here. Maybe I can see the text. Let's see. No, I can't see it. I don't think Josh. He might be busy. Um, but if any of our friends, there's the link should still be there to this live in the description. If anyone wants to hop on and talk about arm wrestling, feel free. But I'm also too. I'm only going to allow. I'm only to allow people on that I personally know. So if I don't let you on, just don't take offense. I just only gonna let people that I personally know. Um, yeah, it still should be there in the description, the link to this chat. Well, today's gonna be some good training. It's going to be very, very intense. It's gonna be good. It's going to be for the members only. It's going to be a heavy day, so it's going to be for the members only. So if you want to see how I train, you're gonna have to become a member. But also too, there's there's also a huge pay-per-view on the members of Stone TV. The first ever Dungeon Super Series, that's on there. There's still only one place to watch it, and that is memberships of Stone TV. Nick says, I don't think I've seen your heavy workout yet. No? Oh, today's the day, maybe. Today is the day. And then Nick says, I wasn't sure if I was going to lift hard today. You never know. If you can, maybe go for it. If you think it's gonna take away from table time, maybe back off a little bit so you can, get, you know, all you can out of practice. Um, but you're a pretty smart guy. I feel like you'll be able to make that decision when it comes to it. But I do have there's there should I don't even know how long we've been doing these live sport. I know there's at least a month. So there is some heavy on the old lives that have already passed. There's at least two or three heavy lifts, and let's see. Usually Brian and Sailor have been there. Sometimes Mike, um, Bill sometimes, but today's the day. So Nick says, "I want table time, but I love lifting." LOL. Once you start clanging and banging, you just get into it. Yeah, definitely true. Very, very addicting. Very true. But I think you'll be okay. Because I feel like maybe I mean, now I'm going off of my experience. I feel like the Tuesdays team is very, very aware and cautious of protecting the new guy, which is good. You know, um, my first practice, I had a line of people lined up, trying to beat me and slam into me, which is good. Just it's a very different experience, but I was sore I mean, I was like 6 weeks of agony, but it worked out. It worked out. I did have an early injury early on. I popped something in my left elbow very, very early on. Um, I was arm wrestling Mike Homewood. Um, Mike passed away um, during COVID, but Mike Homewood was one of the best guys in the country. He arm wrestled during the WAL days. He was only behind, yeah, I think he was fourth. He was behind, Devin, Jerry, and Michael. But he was a very big guy. Uh, but actually, he has a match. He has a match. He has an old match with Tim Bresnan. If you guys want to see that, um, and it wasn't anything Mike did. It was something I did. I just sent it. And my arm stayed one way, my body went the other way, and that was it. But healed back stronger. So Nick says last week wasn't bad, and I did buys, tries, and back pretty hard on Monday. Oh, good. So maybe we got to be a little rougher and tougher on the new guy. Maybe that's what you're saying. Then Nick says my tenants this third week definitely feel the bite, but they feel good now. Oh, good. That's good. So maybe we'll push it just a little bit. Just a little bit. But we will see tomorrow. Est, what's up, man? He says, guess who's back? Back again. I think I know who. I think I know who. Nick says, bring it. All right, Nick. Remember, you said it, not me. But it definitely be good. Definitely be good. All right. I think Nick says, I think he means I know. I think. I think what that typo is. Oh, nope, nope. He says, I need to see that full power someday. Yeah, man. It's only a matter of time. I usually always try to pre-fatigue myself at practice. I mean, I'm probably gonna do heavy wrist flexion in the morning tomorrow. Um, Heavy pronation today. It's not gonna be full power Tuesday, but it's gonna be a lot of power. John, what's up, man? He says the full power is unreal. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Brian says, careful what you wish for, yo. You gotta learn some people gotta learn the hard way, you know? So John says, been in tournaments against Nick and Supermatch, and it's nothing like practice. Very true. Very true. Um, it's a different mindset. I like people at practice, but I don't like people in tournaments or super matches. Maybe that's what it is, you know? So let's see. Nick says, I think in a year or so I'll be able to handle it. You never know. You never know. We'll see. We'll see in 365 days. I don't know what you mean by that question, so I'm going to skip it and go over to John's comment, aka New England Arm Wrestling. He says, name of the game, definitely true. And Brian says, you won't like me when I'm angry. Some people don't like me in general, but definitely not angry. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Nick says to Brian, the secret is I'm always angry. That's the secret. The secret is out. But that is funny. But let's see, what else can we talk about? Any arm wrestling topics you guys want to talk about? Arm wrestling questions. I got a big match coming up December 6th versus Chain Shaw. Best of 5 right hand. And the Natty Wars 2. It's going to be a pay-per-view on the Natty Bros Arm Wrestling channel. You can have, there's only one spot to watch it, and that's their membership, the Natty Bros YouTube. Also, if you want to watch it in person, there is in-person tickets, and it's going to be located in I want to say Woburn, Mass, at the Dave and Buster's. There's in-person tickets, regular seats, there's VIP seats. So let's see. Brian says Chief got back to me about Joey's rules. All right. How are they looking? They looking good? Brian Johnson says, hello, Nick. I just saw, it says Fevin, but I think he means Devin, talking you up on YouTube behind the scenes with Jerry. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I definitely appreciate those guys saying good words. Definitely, it's definitely nice to hear. Plus, very motivating. Well, maybe I'll go back and watch that video. It's on YouTube? Maybe I'll go and watch that video. So True Carnage says, have you been studying Chance's matches as well? Yeah, I've been watching some of them. I've been watching mostly the match with him and Devin. Speaking of Devin, but I know he can pull pretty much everywhere. He can top roll, he can hook, he can press, he can flop. So I got to be ready for anything. Brian says WAF standard. Okay, all right. That makes it, simple. Makes it simple. So it's going to be, pretty strict, or it should be if it's WAF standard. Um, yeah, I think you guys will have do a good job of reffing. Brian Johnson says they gave you high praise. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Um, that is very cool. Now I just got to train hard and and make what they're saying undoubtable. Brian says Devin has felt your power, bro. Definitely did. Uh, he was very tired. I know he was pulling for days before, but power is power. Brian Johnson says I just saw it today. Brian Johnson says, what is your strategy? Offense or defense? Are you going in or kind of catch and go? My strategy is for me only. So I can't answer that, Brian, but I do appreciate that question. That's a very good question. But I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you my strategy is I ain't losing. I am not losing this match. I don't care what I have to do. I am not losing this match. I'm going to be victorious by any means necessary. I don't care what I got to do. But my detailed plan is going to be up here for a little bit. So Nick says, which of those moves is the most challenging to face? That's a good question. but I think I'm going to keep that for our team only. I'll answer that tomorrow because I would like that information to be for our team only. I don't want stuff like that. Um, I don't want to say too much and potentially help out my opponent because I'm not helping him at all. But I will tell you at practice tomorrow, Nick. We will definitely talk about that at practice. Brian Jones says, "You want to borrow the car?" I do. I definitely do. Um, just let me know if you want me to use the front bumper or the rear bumper. Just let me know. It's your car, your rules. Just let me know which bumper to use. When I run them over. That is funny. Nick says, "That's right. Suck it, Chance." That's funny. No, that's good. He definitely will. He definitely will. Brian Jones says the handicap match. Handicap, I think it means match, but he typed March. Or do you mean March? I think it means match. But I'm not sure what you mean by that, Brian. So Brian Johnson says, I find myself overthinking and just react. Many times I think I have to go to move, and suddenly I'm reacting to my opponent. Yeah, you want them reacting to you, but I know what you mean, man. Um, but the fact that you already know that means you're on the right step. It means you know what you got to work on. So that means you got some big gains coming. Brian Johnson says Shaw has no chance. Definitely true. Because I am not losing. I'm not losing. Um, it's gonna be good. Best of five, and we're the main event. We're the main event, um, which I think is very cool. Especially with like legends on the card, like Marcio Barboza. You know, so it's very cool. Brian Johnson says, "Just be stronger." That solves a lot. It definitely does. It definitely does. When in doubt, horsepower it out. That's a good motto. Brian Johnson says, "Very cool. Very cool indeed. Very cool indeed." Let's see. I wonder if is it supposed to snow today? It looks like it's supposed to rain or maybe snow. Maybe pretty cloudy. So Bonnie says the beard looks good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A lot of people like this beard. A lot of people like it. Some people, some it angers people. You know, people either like it or it angers them. But either way, I appreciate the comment. Brian Johnson says, "Hey man, I gotta go. It's snowing mad here. Hey man, I definitely appreciate you hanging out while you can. Be careful with the snow." Brian Johnson says, I'll turn shoveling into some wrist work. LOL. You know who liked to shovel, or at least I don't know personally, only a video I saw years ago. Crazy George, his workout he would shovel a hole, and then he would fill the hole, and then he would shovel a hole, and then he would fill the hole. And he did pretty good, so there's definitely got to be some carryover to it. Um, you know, shoveling ain't the easiest. I mean, this definitely ain't the easiest. It ain't the super hardest, but it's definitely good work. Ryan Shonda says, Crazy George, not so crazy. Yeah, he's not as crazy as he seems. He's definitely onto something. Let's see. I don't do too much shoveling. The most shovel actually was it last week or 2 weeks ago. One of our buddies, Mike, he owns Wall Wizard. So if anyone's looking for walls or uh, like retaining walls and pathways and you know uh, anything like masonry, Mike does a great job. So look up Wall Wizard. But he came over, helped me out with the garage. We had there's a block foundation. One of the blocks in the corner was all pretty much disintegrated. So we dug it up, down to the foundation, put new blocks in, sealed it up. Now the garage doesn't leak anymore. So if you got a leaky garage or something, give Wall Wizard a call. And Mike, if you're watching, I was trying to make a joke out of it. I'm trying to say, gotta give me anybody that calls and says Nick's called, you gotta give me 5% as a middleman. That's funny. That's funny. But Mike should be at practice tomorrow, so you guys can do two things at once. You can, talk to Mike about the walls and practice. You know, but Brian says, curious if he'll make weight for Saturday. Yeah, I'm wondering too. I think he will. I think he will. He's pretty good at the weight cut. And is he going for 154? Is he going for 154? I think, right? Isn't Mike? Uh, you, Mike, and Bill, aren't you guys all in the 154? Or am I mistaken? Because you have to understand, as a super heavyweight, I get the weight classes mixed up. Brian Jones says, "Yeah, okay, cool, cool. I think we'll make it." Uh, he used to do, like jujitsu, so I'm sure he's done some crazy cuts for that. Brian Jones says, "Bill and Mike are over right now. I was 149 yesterday. I wonder how much over they are. Hopefully it's not too much because don't want too much of a. I mean, I'm always. I shouldn't say always against water cuts. I'm against the big ones. I mean, the only time I really say water cuts are relatively worth it is if it's for like a world championship, a world title, or a bunch of money, something that's gonna, you know, kind of make the risk, worth the reward. I'm sure you guys know, everyone in the chats, that when you do the water cut, the risk of injury goes up, you know, because even if you could rehydrate, but you're still not going to be, the tendons are going to be, a little less elastic because they're still going to be dehydrated. But yeah, but we'll touch base tomorrow at practice with everyone, see how they're doing, you know. But that 154 pound class is, I think it's going to be a big class. Yeah, I think it's going to be a big class. Ryan says I'm 15 pounds away from my pronator goal, but I'm also 50 pounds under my preferred body weight, so it's within reach. It definitely is. It definitely is right there. 15 pounds is not that much, but also, depending on where it is, it could be a lot, but I do think you'll get that goal very soon. So it's going to be good. So Brian says PR yesterday, 72 and a half with double chain was 85 on the scale. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good lift. That's a good lift. Did you put a video up, Brian? Did you make a video on your channel? Because you said you were. Maybe, I know it's tricky sometimes with the videos and stuff, but I know people wanted to see it. I know Carolyn definitely wanted to see um, Sayla's training. Plus, I'm sure, a whole bunch of people in the chat would want to see your training too. With that being said, go check out, Brian Jones' arm wrestling channel, and I forgot what Sayla's is. Sayla's YouTube name, I want to say, isn't it Sayla Jones? Is it Sayla Jones AW2? Um, but yeah, definitely check him out. They're gonna be posting some good stuff. Brian says I tagged her in mine. Okay, very cool. So if you look up Brian Jones AW, you'll find both of them. You'll find the Joneses family. To the best of my knowledge, they may be. Hold on. Now, this is the best of my knowledge. They may be the only arm wrestling family in Connecticut currently active. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong in the chats, but I think in Connecticut, they're the only arm wrestling family. When I say like that, I mean like, husband, wife, and, or kids if they show up, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times if someone brings their wife or something like that, they're just, they don't arm wrestle it, kind of hang out and stuff. Um, Brian Jones says, "Oh, I didn't think of that." Yeah, it just popped in my head too. You know, like the Tuppers up, you know, and what are they in? I mix them up, Vermont or New Hampshire. I always mix them up. You know, they're they're another arm wrestling family up there. You definitely you guys, the Joneses know who the Tuppers are, and the Tuppers know who the Joneses are. You know, they happen to be in the same weight classes too. Ham Hoagie, what's up, man? This is Vermont. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. I'm probably gonna need more reminders because I mix them up all the time. Well, Vermont's nice. Vermont's a nice state. I think they train with Bill Sinks. I think so. That's a very good team. Brian Jones says, "Yeah, that's funny. We're same class too. Yeah, pretty much. You know, both 154. Um, Sale and Lydia are the same. I think they're the same, similar weight. You know, but they do compete in the same class. But that is funny. We'll have to make like you know how they do like rookie of the year and like you know MVP and stuff like that for sports. We'll have to make like an arm wrestling family of the year, the most dominant arm wrestling family of the year will get a little award or something like that. You know, that could be fun, but also could be motivating. Brian says nice. It definitely is. It definitely is. Brian says, imagine if Garrett went up to 198 body weight, he'd be huge. I mean, he looks, I mean, in pictures, you know, with the size of his arms, and he looks like he could be, you know, a 200-pound guy. You know, when people say he's only 154, I'm sure a lot of people don't believe him. But yeah, I think I would definitely think in you know over the time of his career, I would think he would you know as he gets older, he'd put more muscle on, bulk up, um, you know, go up in classes. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Who do you think is the strongest arm wrestling family in the United States? That's a very tricky question. Now, I'm trying to think of like all the arm wrestling families that I know of, and right now my first thought is the Passmore family. Oh, that's another good one, Brian. Brian says the Bresnans. How can I forget? What the hell? They leave the state, and I already forgot about them. Jeez Louise. But yeah, that I was gonna say the Passmore family. But I think the Bresnans might have them on horsepower. You know, Bresnans is a father and son. The Passmore is, was it a, uh, you know, father, mother, and then their children arm wrestle. So that's very interesting. That's a tricky question, you know, but it's a fun question. Actually, fun fact. My match December 6th. I'm actually the replacement athlete for Tim. Tim wasn't able to make it, but I am. So I got the spot, but it's gonna be good. So Brian Jones says, "What do you think about Corey versus Paul?" So they've had a match before when they were both super heavyweights. Paul won 3-2. I'm pretty sure it was 3-2. Um, Now I think they're both in the 242 pound class. You know, not the supers, the class below. I would really like to see a rematch. Um, I think Corey is only doing left arm. Last time I talked to him, he's only doing left arm. He has an injury on one of his arms. So we'll have to, depending on his heel, I think he's only doing one arm at the moment. But that would be a real cool match to see. I would really like to see that rematch again. Um, Ham Hoagie says excited to see December 6th. Hope to make it. Yeah, man, definitely check it out, man. Even if you can't remember, there's the pay-per-view on their channel, the Natty Bros YouTube channel, the memberships. But yeah, I definitely I mean, that's like the card is crazy. I mean, they got some incredible pullers. Um, so definitely, if you can, definitely get down there. Definitely get down there, Hoagie. Ham Hoagie. That's a good name. So up next, whole bunch of emojis. I appreciate that. I need some nice good emojis. Ham Hoagie says that'll be my biggest event I've been to. That's a good one. He definitely picked a good one. I mean, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. Um, Hopefully not so big where Dave and Buster's kicks us out, but we should be all right. We got a whole bunch of big arm wrestlers. We should be able to, you know, use our size to stay kind of thing. If they try to kick us out, drag us out, we'll just go dead weight, and they won't be able to carry us. So Ham Hoagie says, I heard one of the guys I train with will be there pulling too. Oh, very nice. Who is that? Who is one of the guys you train with? Ham? Brian Jones says that'd be funny. Security trying to throw out security-sized dudes. Yeah, we might even, they might try to throw us out. I mean, we might even just blend in with security, like throw those guys out. What do you mean? Those guys look like security. Another thing we could do is we'll get a whole bunch of black shirts that say security. So if the situation occurs when they try to kick us out, we will all put on the shirt that says, security. So we'll blend right in. So Ham Hoagie says Wade Allen from Southern Maine. That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. I know Wade. I just can't remember his last name. If it's a Wade I know him. He's a good guy, but I can't remember his last name. But I think the Wade I'm talking about is from New Hampshire, or Vermont. I think. But I'll look up I'll look him up on the flyer, the poster. Once I see his face, I'll know. I'm good with the faces, not so good with the names. I have a funny story I always like to say. I've said it before, so you guys might have heard before, but I'll say it real quick. Um, when I was, probably like from like 18 to 20, I trained with some people. Like we trained 3 to 4 days a week for about 2 years. And it took me about 2 years to finally figure out my training partners' names. Um, but now I know them forever. I won't forget the names now. I think that's a funny story. Brian Jones says, haha, classic. It's definitely a classic. Definitely a classic. You know what's another tricky thing too with learning people's names is a lot of people have nicknames. Like we have a Joe on the team, but I think 90 his nickname is Cletus. I think 90% of people uh, believe his name is Cletus. Um, that was one of those nick. I don't know if you guys were there that day, but that was one of those nicknames that was like just someone said something and it was just stuck. Joe wore he had a shirt from a different YouTuber, some guy that builds cars and trucks and stuff like that. His name is Cletus, the YouTuber. So he had a shirt that said Cletus on it. Um, so there's another new guy, and he goes, "Hey, Cletus," and everyone goes, "Who's Cletus?" And he goes, "That guy." And then as soon as we heard Cletus and the way Joe looks, he definitely looks like a Cletus. That's a compliment to Joe Cletus. But yeah, I think that's funny. Nick says, "Nick is my nickname." Definitely true. Definitely true. Definitely is. And if you want to make it even more of a nickname, nicknames are supposed to be short and, quick. Get rid of that K. Think about all the time you'll save when you write your name down. One less letter every single time, you'll save hundreds and hundreds of minutes throughout your life. But I actually, Nick says I'm not worthy. But don't worry about it, man. You just need time. You need time. You gotta build yourself up on the team. Eventually, maybe one day, you'll get a real nickname besides new guy Nick. That'd be funny. I wonder what will be. I wonder what will be. We will see when it gets there. Nick says instead of Stone, I'll use Boulder. That's a good one. That's a good one. Boulder shoulders, big shoulders, big arms. Good nickname. Brian says my nickname is Brine. Brine. But only when Joey's around. Very true. Very true. He's got that heavy Southern accent. I usually have a hard time with a Southern accent. Joey, I think maybe because we've been around quite a bit, I can usually understand. And once in a while, there's a few words that take me a second. Uh, he calls me Biggin. What's up, Biggin? Which I'd never heard that word before till I met Joey. Hopefully, hopefully it's a nice, hopefully it's a nice word. Jason, what's up, man? He says, hope all is well, dude. Yeah, definitely all is well. All is well in the world. We're drinking almost, I'm drinking it pretty slow. This is the all natural pre workout. Actually, I shouldn't say all natural. I think the caffeine is, I don't know if the caffeine is natural or synthetic, but everything else besides the caffeine is natural. Some lemons, some honey. Actually, I think I forgot to put salt in there. There's some collagen in there. But Jason, if you like arm wrestling, you picked the right spot because we're an arm wrestling channel. Talk about arm wrestling, even powerlifting stuff once in a while. I used to be a powerlifter before I was an arm wrestler. So maybe you got some questions, let me know. I always like to ask anytime we got someone. I don't know if I've maybe you've hopped on before, Jason, but I don't think I remember your name. So if this is your first time, I like to ask questions to the first timers. Who is your favorite arm wrestler and why? Or maybe this is your first time hearing about arm wrestling. So maybe you got some questions, maybe this is your first time hearing that arm wrestling is a real sport with real referees and real rules and real athletes. So that's good. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we talk about? What else can we talk about? Let's see. Brian says, used to work with a guy from Tennessee. He called one lady the biggin. Never ever learned her name. LO. I tell you what. Oh, you know what? Not big in. It's big gun. Big gun, not big in, right? Either way, that is a terrible nickname for a lady. I'm sure that lady absolutely loved that nickname. Yeah, I'm sure that lady definitely enjoyed being called that every day. That is funny. That is funny. Seven says, nice hoodie though. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. This was a gift, but also this is my uh my gym hoodie. Gets all beat up and a whole bunch of stains on it. It's another thing that sometimes angers. Some people like the hoodie, but some people it angers them. Brian says, big gun, tomatoes, tomato. Pretty true. Pretty true. They actually might be saying, our name. We just can't understand them because of the accent. But that's funny. That is funny. So let's see. Nick says, how can I keep good back pressure while staying tall? Keep my hip to the table while not leaning too far back. Question. Get a technical question in here. So how can I keep good back pressure while staying tall? Keeping my hip to the table while not leaning too far back. It's tricky. It's such a weird. I mean, I don't. I mean, it took me. I mean, I still have a hard time with it sometimes. You know, what I mean, like I'll shoot away from the table, but then I'll get back and keep the hip on there. There's times to do both, you know. Um, but we just gotta work on your, foot placement, everything like that, hip placement. Um, I still think you're squatting too much, if that makes sense. Remember when we were talking about trying to only bend at one knee, I still think you're like squat, like, doing like a body weight squat position too much. And I think that position, when you squat, your hips go back. So that's why you're so far back. Um, but it's a very unnatural position, you know what I mean? Until you get used to it, until you become an arm wrestler. Um, but yeah, we'll definitely work on that tomorrow. Um, yeah, so to answer that question, if I didn't answer it with that, I say it just takes time. We'll work on it tomorrow. Um, Also, too, I think you got to keep your chest up. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. You know, uh, Stand tall. Try not to slouch too much. If that makes sense. Brian Jones has worked the post center position. That will definitely help. That will definitely help. I mean, if Nick's he's got probably one of the longest arms I've seen. Elbow to fingertip. So once he learns how to use that, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem for some people. So let's see. 7 says, what do you think of height increase surgery and people who did it? Do you see they might struggling with deadlift? I don't know too much about that. The only thing I know is I've seen some videos and it looks like they have two types of surgery. One is when they break the tibia and fibia and lengthen it there, or they break the femur and then lengthen it there. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a good. I mean, maybe for some people it will help them with their life. I don't think it will help most people. I think it will hurt them. Um, if you look at how, the people that have those surgeries, how they walk and move, it becomes very, very unnatural because now their natural body position, leverage, and everything is different. Um, Now, the only thing, let's see, I definitely think for quite a while they would struggle with weightlifting because the bone needs to heal up. I mean, needs to heal. Plus, I think you know, it's it's not like a one and done thing. I think they put it in and then they have like some kind of spring or something, and they have they turn something and it every they have to keep stretching it out every whatever, every couple days. I mean, I'm no expert, but I think it's not a one and done thing. I think they put it in and they slowly, stretch it out. So I'm sure it's a huge process. Um, but yeah, I definitely, I don't think I would recommend that to most people. I mean, unless it's something you really want to do, then if it's something they want and it's not hurting nobody else, then let them do it. So let's see. Nick says, yeah, I notice you tend to move your foot position versus bending your knees. Yeah. Um, Definitely, you have to move your foot position depending on, how you're pulling, inside, outside, different foot position. Um, yeah, once you figure out the foot and the legs, you'll definitely have a lot stronger of a base. Um, let's see. 7 says, yeah, need to heal. I heard take a year or even more to heal the bone. Yeah, I would think at least a year. I would think, 3 to 5. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, when I say 3 to 5, I mean like back to, you know, being able to really, weight train or, do anything athletic. Um, but I am no expert with the leg lengthening surgeries. But that being said, if anyone needs that surgery, I'll do it for half off. They call me Dr. Nick. You know, just like in The Simpsons. If you remember Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. Definitely not a doctor you want to see, but still a doctor. Can't take that away from him. He got his what is it? He got his degree, probably from online, but still a degree. Let's see. Nick says hello, everybody. I can't see how many people we got in the chat, but we must have a pretty decent amount. So 7 thinks that was a good joke. That was a good joke. Ham Hoagie says get into some mafia trouble. They'll do it for free. I think they'll do the leg shortening one. Don't mix those up. You definitely don't want to mix those up. Because I think they would probably do the leg shortening. They probably after spending some time with them, your legs would probably be a little shorter. That's funny. Oh, I see, Nick. Yeah, I've been missing a lot of jokes. That was one of those real thinkers. That was one of those real deep thinker jokes. Sometimes those go over my head, but I do get it now. He says that's what Dr. Nick says. You never get my jokes. I get it now. I definitely get it now. I should have got that. I should have got that. I don't know why I didn't. Um, maybe it's the sometimes that like 20, 30 second delay. Sometimes I'll talk about something and then I'll forget what I'm talking about because I'm reading comments and stuff like that. But that's a good one. Brian Johnson says, I'm back. I think Phil shoveling. I think he means still shoveling. Oh, well. Yeah, take a little break. Take a little break. Uh, hang out with us. Have a good time. Maybe you got some more questions, or maybe a topic that you want to talk about. Nick says the more we hang out, the more we'll understand each other's humors. Oh, well, very true. Very true. We got some good senses of humors on the team. One or two, not on two. Everyone on Tuesday team is pretty cool. We got a couple sour apples in Connecticut, but they're still good arm wrestlers. So we keep them on the team. So Brian Johnson says PHUK means fuck. Fuck arm wrestling. I mean, fuck shoveling, not fuck arm wrestling. Shoveling. I don't know why I said arm wrestling. I must be thinking about arm wrestling too much. He says, not Phil. My hands are cold. Yeah, I'm definitely glad it's not snowing here. Because then I won't be able to wear my flip flops. I'll have to put boots or sneakers on, and I'd rather wear my flip flops. So hopefully, the snow stays up there and doesn't come down here. So Seven says, "Are you a car guy?" I mean, I'm no mechanic. I know the basic stuff, basic maintenance stuff. I'm slowly becoming a mechanic. Right now, my car's got some trouble, so I've been messing around with it, slowly learning with the YouTube videos and stuff like that, trying to figure out the issue. But I do like cars. I like cars and trucks. Um, let's see, what's my favorite car? Um, I do like the old muscle cars. Maybe a 69, 68 Charger. That might be one of my favorite cars. Maybe I do like I like a lot of the old muscle cars. The 442. That's a nice one. I like some of the old vets. Oh, there he is. Josh is joining us. What's up, man?
What's going on, big dog?
How you feeling?
How you doing? I'm all right. I'm all right. Just got done doing a little bit of yard work. You know?
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it snowing down there or not yet?
No. No.
Okay. That's good.
Sure is windy as hell though.
Yeah. I'll say it's one of our guys, Brian Johnson from upstate New York, says it's snowing pretty good up there.
Nice. I ain't ready for snow.
Yeah, me neither, man. I'm just saying I still want to wear my flip flops. I don't want to put fucking sneakers or shoes on yet.
Still rocking the chunklas.
Yep. Gotta rock it. Somebody's gotta do it,
Hey, Big Nick, shut up.
No, you can't make me, man. You can't make
Not
me.
you. Not you.
Oh, all right, yeah. Other
I'm
Nick.
sorry. New Nick. New Nick. My bad. New Nick, shut up.
Yeah, you gotta clarify that. It's very, very
My
confusing.
bad, Big Nick. My bad, Big Nick.
Oh, you just hopped on here, man. You just hopped on. You can't tell me to shut up. That is funny. That is funny. So let's see. Uh,
Brian Johnson. He had a 76 Firebird, huh? T top 400? 400 small block, right?
yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah, we were talking about cars right before you hopped on.
I wouldn't know anything about those.
No, it's all right. There's still
No.
time. There's still time. Maybe we can, we'll learn together.
I mean, yeah. It's not like I damn near professionally bracket race.
But they don't know that.
No. Nobody would.
But I know that. So let's see. Oh, now I see the comment you were talking about for new guy Nick.
Yeah. See the pain in the ass? He says about time.
About time.
Yeah. I knew it was about me. I knew it.
That is funny.
I got that ESPN.
The ESPN. Oh man.
What do we got here? Out here in the wind carrying handfuls of paper like an asshole, brother. Try, you know, I was outside blowing the leaves with my blower. I look like a complete asshole. I blow it this way, the wind blows it this way. I said, okay, I'll
Oh,
go with the wind. I blow it this way, it blows it back at me. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I got out my zero turn, push all the leaves to the middle of the yard, and just mulched the shit out of them.
that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Oh man. So Brian Johnson says saw some Garrett Tupper vids. Impressive. Is he 154? Yeah, I want to say he's 154. I think we were talking
Uh,
about that. Yeah, he's 154. You know Gary Tupper?
he's a big 154.
He
He's
is a
just
big
short.
154.
So you know he reminds me of it. I don't think he's on that level. Joseph Morano. He just reminds me. I don't think he's on that level. He just reminds me.
He's at the beginning steps. You know, he's.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely. Both those guys are like, if you take a picture of them with you see that with the cut off sleeves, they look like they're over 200 pounds. You know what I mean?
They both double bicep like crazy. You'd think they were RVJ for fuck's sakes. Pardon my language.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. You should have seen some of the comments before. You would have definitely been dropping the hammer.
Was somebody dropping the hammer? Anybody?
No, nobody.
Hey, Laurel.
It was I was all by myself.
Oh man, you were
Well,
fan.
I wasn't by myself. We have all the friends, but I know I was hammerless. I was hammerless.
That's not true because you still have the biggest hammer.
Oh, I could block people too?
Yes, it's your
Oh,
channel. Actually, you can ban them.
oh, then I
You
should have
have the
done that.
ability to ban.
All right, then
That's
everyone
what
be
I said.
careful.
There's admin and there's mods.
That's
You
good to
gave us
know.
all mods, so we
Uh,
could only time people out, remove comments.
oh, okay. Okay,
We
I
can't
thought that was
actually ban. We cannot actually ban.
okay. So that's good to know. I thought it was only for moderators. So everyone be careful. I might start banning everybody. That's funny.
You
Oh,
better be good now, you guess. Nerd.
Josh says, Nick
Brian
says
Travis.
it's all love for Josh. So he's just kidding. He's just kidding. That's funny. Oh, and Brian Jones says, yeah, his dad too. So they're both 154. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Ham Hoagie says Tupper and Sam Mitchell go to war. Yeah, they definitely have some crazy matches.
Yo, Nick. Guess what would be speaking of Tupper and the old man Tupper. How about old man Vinecour against old man Tupper?
Well, what's his first name? Vinicor.
I don't know his name, but it's Josh Vinecour's dad.
I'm shooting a blank right now. I can't put a face to
Ha!
him.
Giggity.
I mean, I'd like to see Tupper pull anybody, so I'm sure it'd be a good match. But I can't put a face to it. The name right now.
Yeah, it's just Josh Vinecour's dad. He's
Maybe.
good. He's good. He was big. He was big into arm wrestling growing up, and then I think at one point he took a break. But as soon as I jumped in, he was coming back because I believe his first tournament back was the first tournament that I ever went to, and that was the sit down nationals at Dad's 2 years ago. That's where I think Vinecour's dad came back.
Okay. Does he prefer sit down
I
or just
don't
not?
know. I don't know. I don't know. I think he prefers stand up, but he'll do any of it.
Okay.
And from what I hear, Mr. Vinegar pulls the same whether in practice or in the tournament. So if you're going to practice with him, be prepared. He's going to jump on you.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
That's all. Just be prepared.
That's funny. Brian Johnson says, funny thing, my mother's maiden name is Tupper. I'm currently in the 154s. So I'll tell you what, that 154 class is getting big. There's a lot of 154s, especially in our
Yo,
area. I don't know
what's
about your
going on,
area,
Lucky?
but
Did
oh,
you say me, my age?
no, your area.
Oh,
calm
I was
down,
gonna say you
calm
throwing
down.
shade.
Hey, calm down. We're all friends here.
My bad. My bad. Whew, it's
Hey
getting real
Nick, you gotta
hot.
take it easy on Josh. You're making him angry.
Golly.
That's funny.
He's starting to get grays for fudge sakes. Sheesh. Wolfie,
Yeah,
how you doing, buddy? Laurel, you're a good girl. That's okay. But do you arm wrestle? That is one thing I don't think we ever asked you, Laurel. Do you arm wrestle?
that's a good question. I know she's a fan of arm wrestling.
Hey,
What does she arm wrestle?
I don't know. And what's going on, James? How you doing, buddy? If you want to hop on, I can hop off, big guy. Just let me know.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Laurel says no, she does not, but she does watch it. Maybe you should think about looking for a club nearby, wherever you are.
Yeah, I definitely recommend that. I don't know if you're near our area, but you're definitely welcome to join practice because we have a. If you ever want to pull Sailor, that would be the place to do it. Lucky
Laurel, we
said,
need ladies. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I
definitely
love
do.
watching the ladies pool. They're fun as shit.
They definitely are. They bring the intensity.
There's one lady down in Virginia, um, older lady. I think she's a part of the team that wears the not Carolina blue, but the dark blue and white. Um, I don't want to say old lady because that sounds horrible. Um, just she's just an older lady and she's fucking good. I love watching her pull because it pisses all the young girls off. Because when she hits here and doesn't let you slip, and she just stays there holding onto your finger. And then you could just see the person across the table from her just getting more pissed off and more pissed off and more pissed off until they either fucking go ah and rip their arm off the table and hope that they either slip before they elbow foul or they just take the pin. Oh, there you go. There's Lucky. She said it. Deb. She knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait, was she originally from up north?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Lucky.
Yeah, look, do you
And
know
looks like Lucky whooped that took us. Go ahead, Lucky.
the VL? She says she beat her at VLL. Yeah, that's good. If it's the same Deb I'm thinking of, that's a big win. That's a big win, Lucky. Wolfie, what's up, man?
James said, yeah, they used to be in our area. And he
Yep,
also
okay.
said Deb and Dean.
Yep, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Thanks,
Yeah,
James.
very,
Oh,
very, very good pullers. Very intense.
she doesn't look very easy to pin, Lucky. She she hits for position and stays there. How she can stay holding on with it, just those couple fingers at the top. She just stays holding on with the two fingers and the thumb. I got a really good close up of it because I'm like, what the shit?
Yeah, it's that's that the thumb ripper style, the old thumb ripper. You know,
It's frustrating because they get a lock on it. Oh God, Wolfie,
and
give
it would.
give me a break, buddy. Give me a break, Wolf.
Yeah, he's Wolfie. Josh is in not the best mood today, so maybe take it easy on the guess what. I mean, unless it's a good one, but if it's the same one, I think Josh is a little on edge today. That's funny.
Let's see. Lucky says that grip is goal. Yeah, she's got the hell of a grip, man. Um, James Clark said Houston has a good team. I believe he's talking to Laurel because Laurel said she's from Houston, Texas.
I know there's a lot of teams down in Texas. I know there's a lot of teams.
You know who she can hit up? Dave Shell. The professor, he's really good at knowing what teams are in what area. So if you reach out to him on Facebook Messenger, his name is Dave or David Shell. We call him the professor.
It's
Older
it's
gentleman.
it's spelled like it's not like shell like ch. It's I mean sh. It's sc something, right? It's
SCH,
oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I believe. Let me see if I could find it here on the face space.
Okay. Wolfie says, "Okay, sorry. No, we were just kidding, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, geez.
Lucky says, back to teaching. Have a great live. Thank you very much. Good luck
Okay.
teaching.
It's David A. Shell, Schell. And I could drop the link to his Facebook real quick before you leave. Don't leave yet. I think that's the person who said they were going to leave. Oh, crap. Come on. There we go. That should be for Dave Shell. And then if you reach out to him, let him know Josh sent him your way and you're looking for a team in your area. He will hook you up.
Yeah, he definitely will. Brian Johnson says, Nick, ever hear of Easy Warden from my area? I don't think so. Um, I don't think
Oh,
so.
I'll be back. I'm going to grab a drink.
Oh, man.
Don't worry, I'll still listen.
Oh, okay. That's good. I appreciate that. Brian Johnson says he has been low key lately. Maybe I've seen him before. The name doesn't sound familiar, but you should definitely bring him a Turtle Man. Definitely bring him a Turtle Man. It's going to be a good tournament. Turtle Man 3. Wolfie says, like the glasses, Nick. Oh, I appreciate that.
He's trying to look sophisticated.
Yeah, I don't even need him to see. I just wear him to make me look smarter.
Nice. We got 12 people. We got 14 thumbs ups. If anybody stopped by just to troll, do us all a favor and give us a thumbs up before you start trolling. Um, doesn't cost you a thing. It's greatly appreciated. And I'll hand out my ban or my timeout afterward.
It will be somewhere between 10 seconds and 86,000 seconds, depending on how bad the joke is. That's funny. Uh-oh. Wolfie says, well,
Whoa.
you're not that smart still, LOL. Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's tomorrow at practice. 5 p.m. We'll figure out if I'm smart or not. Nick says, I pay for my trolling privileges. Because he's a member of Stone TV. That is funny. That's one of the perks of members. You get a little more leniency with leniency with the trolls and comments. But that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, Nick doesn't give them things out. Trust me.
So Wolfie says, okay, $100, you lose.
I'll take that bet.
Right.
That's an easy $100 for you, buddy.
You just gotta make it here. You just gotta make it up here.
Nice
And
hand.
Hungry says, glasses hides your power level. It definitely does. That's funny.
Until they see him in not not on a live and in person.
Yep.
He's about as wide as a silverback gorilla.
Just a little less hairy, but looks the same.
Same build.
Same build, similar face. You know.
Oh, James is calling the W already by Michael.
I mean, I'm saying the same thing. I think Mike wins. I know it's probably crazy, um, but I think Mike wins.
Samson from the Bible. Don't you new Nick, don't you start quoting the Bible. I will ban you.
Let's see. Nick says the power is in the beard, almost like Samson from the. Oh, that's what you're talking about. But he says Brian John just says, "LO Silverback Nick." We already got a silverback, so I can't have that nickname. We got a Brian Jones. His
Let's
nickname
see.
is Silverback.
You got Silverback. We just call Nick Western Lowland.
Western Lowland Nick.
Western Lowland Nick.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Aha. Laurel found him. You should have. I dropped his link.
Yeah, he'll definitely hook you up. He'll definitely hook you up. Man, I tell you what, David Shell probably goes to more practices and tournaments than than anyone I know of. I mean, one time at my practice, uh, he drove up. I think he's from Pennsylvania. He drove up from Pennsylvania. On the way to our practice, he stopped at a practice before our practice, and then when he left our practice, he went to a third practice, all in the same day.
He keeps trying to get me to go with him because I would. He's the perfect to drive lazy Josh around. Because Josh hates to drive. Dave Shell loves to drive everywhere, but the problem is he's an hour and a half away from me in the wrong direction always.
Uh, Hour and a half's not too bad. You know, it would be real. You know, it would be too much. Probably 2 hours. That'd probably be too much. Hour and a half, not too bad. Let's see.
Well, happy early birthday, Wolf Guy.
Yeah, man. Happy early birthday.
Atlantic City is only 150 round trip right now.
That's not bad.
How far away are you, James? You need a ticket to get to
He's on
Atlantic
an
City?
island. He's on an island right now. Um,
What do you mean on an island?
he lives on an island. I always thought he lived in um, Long Island, New York, but he lives in like an island in Massachusetts or something like that.
Lives on an island in Massachusetts.
If I'm not mistaken. What? That's funny.
An island in Massachusetts. Now I got to bring up a map.
Oh, Martha's Vineyard. That's where James is from.
I thought that was in California. No, Northern California.
He's on the East Coast one.
Oh, there's more than one. All right. Well,
I think. I
I don't
guess
drink.
there's
I
got to
have
be.
no idea. I don't know to be honest.
I
So,
know the
but
name of
I'll
my
go with what he
town. I know
says.
there's a whole bunch of the same name. Like I know there's one in New York. I know there's one in Massachusetts.
That's right, Wolf. You better take that back, you turd. You're asking for chill, Wolf.
Brian Jones says 3 practices in a week is legendary. 3 in a day is
Not more than
mental.
one. Let's see.
But that's what it takes to be the best. You got to be a little crazy. So James Clark says there is not more than one LOL.
Correct.
So only
Apparently.
on the East Coast. That's funny.
I'll take his word for it. Fuck would he lie for?
That's funny. Wolfie says sorry, so he's sorry, Josh.
Oh, you're good, man.
Yeah, we're just teasing. We're having fun. We're having fun.
So apparently, there's not just okay right there. Heavily visited excuse me, Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. Let's click on it. Simply called the Vineyard, just south of Cape Cod.
Okay.
So that should be up there where like the original shark attacks that spurred the movie
Oh,
Jaws by the bull sharks. That should be around that area, I guess.
it should.
James.
Yeah. So that being said, James, stay out of the water.
No, I'm asking. I'm not. I'm asking. I'm asking.
It's got to be pretty close. It's got to be pretty close. Um.
See, Jaws was filmed there.
Very cool. Very cool.
Nailed it.
Laurel says, "Oh, we're back. We're back." Laurel says, "Y'all have a good day, but I need to get back to work. Thanks for watching, Laurel. Have a good day at work." So Wolfie says, "Hey Josh, why do you ban AI?"
Easy. It gives me somebody to ban, and I don't feel bad about it. To be honest, I don't feel bad about it at all. You jump off that bridge every summer. What do you just jump into the water? Do you jump as in rappel?
Whatever you do, just make sure there's no boats crossing under the bridge when you jump.
Big
Don't want
sharkies.
to. That's funny.
Just start making a name for yourself. The freaky strong James Clark gets eaten by shark.
That'd be interesting.
The Jaws Bridge is what he's talking about.
The Jaws Bridge.
That's cool. I would love to go up there. Or perhaps he eats the shark. Is that where you get all that freaky power?
Shark meat, huh?
Yeah, he eats the sharks.
That's good,
He's the Chuck Norris of Massachusetts.
I wonder if when he jumps off the bridge, he just waits for a shark, jumps off, and then grabs it, puts it in a stranglehold, pulls it out of the water.
That's what I mean. He fights sharks for fun.
I tell you what, that'd be a good video. That'd be a good video.
Yeah. It's just if I'm as long as I'm allowed to film it.
Yeah, you could film it. Somebody got it. James.
Sorry, but neither of us, Sage. Neither of us are gamers.
Yeah, Sage. Is that what it is? Have you CS? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
I think it's maybe CS:GO. I don't know. Anyway, we do not game, my friend.
But we
do suplexes the shark.
Yeah, so we talk about suplexing sharks here. That's for sure. James says he suplexes the shark.
Now see, James suplexes it. Nick hits it with the car.
Straight from the bridge.
Right off the bridge.
That'd be good. Different strategies, but same outcome. That is funny.
And Wolf, no, I would not feel bad because it's not a true ban. It's just a timeout for 24 hours. So no, I would not feel bad.
Yep. That's one of the perks of holding the hammer. Brian Johnson says, same here. I have to stoke the stove later, guys, and remember the golden turtle, my Everest. Peace, everyone. Peace out, Brian. Thanks for watching.
See
And
you, buddy.
definitely keep chasing that Mount Everest, the golden turtles.
And you're not getting a turtle. I keep telling you.
We'll find out at Turtle Man 3.
I am not printing you a turtle. I refuse to. Speaking of the turtle, I need that file.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for the friendly reminder. You know, I might need one more maybe, but we'll definitely get it. We'll definitely get it.
Speaking of reminders, let's see. How come you don't put the actual links to your social medias in the description?
I wasn't able to use those links for some reason. I'm not able to post those links into the description for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. Some reason
Huh?
when I try to, post them in the description, it won't post them.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
weird. Very weird. I could try it again,
That's
because
why
that
I
would
can't wait
definitely
you get this because I'm telling you, it's going to be different because we can put that in computer mode and you'll see how YouTube looks like on a computer. So
put the phone in computer mode.
put this tablet when you go on the internet instead of you could either use the actually you can't even go live from the app on this. You actually have to open up the browser and log in to the YouTube in order to get the go live button. So
Okay.
it's gonna be like going live on a computer. So it's gonna be different than what you're used to.
Okay. That's good though, That's good.
Well, yeah, because what's nice about it as well is that will plug right into like that monitor right there. I have an extra piece. If I can get it out of there, wherever it is, I don't know. It's up there. It's a wire. It just comes right down in USB C's, and then it mirrors the screen. So I could either hook a phone up, any phone. I can hook any of my iPhones up, my Samsung phone, my my Surface Pro. So if you get yourself a computer screen, you can one wire that right to the computer screen and have a
Big screen.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. Things are happening. Things are definitely happening.
Just got to get up there.
But
VK VY Kins. Hey, goodbye, boys. W stream later, brother.
peace out, man. Thanks for watching. But I'm probably gonna hop off in a few minutes. I gotta get ready for lifting. But James has a good question. He says, "Did you guys talk about the announced matches yet?" We did not. We did not. Um, we talked a little bit about, just a second, Michael Todd versus Levon. Um, but
I
yes,
mean, you got one more today, right? One more live.
yeah. So I'm gonna do the heavy lift. That will be for the members only. And then I might do another recovery lift after, later on in the evening. Um, so at least one, maybe two more, depending on the time and stuff. Nope, we got a technical question
Yes, sir,
from
you
Brad.
should, because 9 by 16 is opposite of what the ratio is of TVs today. They used to be 4 by 3 aspect ratio. They are now 16 by 9, 16 wide by 9 tall. And yes, 9 by 16 is in the vertical format for Facebook, YouTube Shorts. Do all your YouTube Shorts in 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 portrait mode, 9 by 16. But do everything else that you're going to post on YouTube in long form. Do that in landscape, 16 by 9. So yes,
You know what? Maybe we'll talk about this match because I just found out right before I saw a video that Jerry and Camille Jablonski are going to have a match. Did you hear about that?
not at all.
So they're going to be one of the matches on the they're going to do. I heard they're going to do they're going to do a free video and a pay-per-view. Like a couple matches before the pay-per-view will be free on YouTube. That's going to be one of the matches that are free on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. But it's
Really?
happening. Presser versus presser. It's gonna be interesting.
Who's going to get into it first? Camille's no joke, but neither is Jerry. So I have no idea.
I think
I'll
Jerry.
I'll probably go with Jerry just because. I mean, he's got the most unique flop I've ever seen, and Camilla is a textbook flop. He's a textbook presser. Jerry is not.
Yeah, he's a very unique, unorthodox presser.
It's weird. Like I said, when he gives up his wrist, when I saw him pulling you, he does this weird turn with his hand when he's pushing forward. It's just, I don't know what it is, why he does it. I would have to physically ask him and go, stop that turn. Why? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's all. But it's just a really weird press. Does he ever want to explain it, or is it just one of the things that's one of the things he keeps in his pocket?
I know there's a video from years ago of WAL when it was Neil Pickup and Jerry Carteret, where he was did a video explaining the flop press. So I don't know if he gave all his secrets, but there's a video of him explaining it. I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, but I know there's a video of him explaining with Neil on the WAL YouTube. But yeah, I think he's pretty open, about his press, but yeah, the only way I can explain it is it feels like your arm is being imploded, not exploded, but like shoved. Your bones are being shoved into themselves. You know.
Yeah, that's why he kept pushing you right off the pad. Keep your
Yeah.
keep your elbow on, my motherfucker. Quit pushing me off.
I'm trying, man. He's pushing me off. You gotta follow that guy.
Yeah, and what do you do as a ref? Because you go, well, I don't know. You're supposed to be strong enough to keep your elbow on the fucking pad. I don't know what to call.
No, that's a foul. You gotta keep your elbow on. Well,
James says the only pressing that will happen is a shoulder roll. That's exactly right. And he says, I can explain it. It feels like shit. It looks like it feels like shit.
it does. It does. That is funny. That
It's
is
the
funny.
weirdest press I've ever seen. And I'm like a nerd, and I sit here and watch these videos just to try and decode them.
Yeah, you gotta like feel it, but still, like even once you feel it, you still don't understand it. It's very strange.
That's what I mean. Like half the time when I practice, and somebody goes, "Does this feel good?" I can't look. I have to close my eyes and just turn my head and just use my arm to feel where they're trying to go to where I could explain it. If I look at it, I just fuck everything up just looking at it. So I just always close my eye to feel where everything is going.
I
I don't know
feel
if
you.
that makes
I
sense.
feel you.
Nobody feels
Um,
me.
But Josh, is there anything else? I think we're gonna hop off. Is there anything else you want to say to the people of Stone TV?
Hey, again, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for all the awesome questions. Appreciate your time. Uh, and definitely, before you get off of here, if you didn't throw any thumbs up, give us a thumbs up. Doesn't cost you a thing. Greatly helps out the channel.
It definitely does. Definitely appreciate that. I also too want to say check out Josh's channel, that Camera Guy 98. A whole bunch of great videos out there. Um, you know, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to keep hanging out, we're gonna do a membership video. That's gonna be our heavy lift. If not, we'll see you guys maybe later tonight. If not, tomorrow morning. But thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.